Welcome to the Daily Pour podcast. I'm your host, Rachel Lopez, and this is the place where we dive into all the big and small moments, from challenges to celebrations and every single thing in between. Each week, we will have heartfelt conversations, grow in faith, and pour out a daily dose of encouragement that's just for you, my friend. You are always welcome here, so get ready to laugh, learn, and leave inspired. We're pouring out the good stuff right here, right now. Let's go. Hi, it's your friend Rachel, and today I am sitting here with my friend and worship pastor, Ryan Tenney. What's up?
Hey, what's up? Thanks for having me.
Thanks for being on the show
Stoked to be
today.
here.
So, Ryan, tell us who you are. Give us some information, some details. Who is Ryan?
Who is Ryan? Let's see. First off, I am really lucky to be married to an amazing woman named Jana. She is my everything, and I have a daughter. She's a 6-year-old, Mila, and anyone who is at the church knows her. She's everywhere. She's always everywhere, all the time. I am born and raised in Hawaii. Been living here in Amador County for just about 5 years. This month makes 5 years, actually,
Crazy.
which is wild. And so, yeah, just I love to eat ice cream, and I love to be outside, and I love all kinds of things. I like to be just doing fun stuff, and I love church. I love church building. I love hanging out with people, and I just kind of do a lot of different things. I don't know.
Yeah, you do. When I think about you, because I wanted to ask a few of your favorite things, I was like, I think Ryan's going to have a big list.
I have so many.
You
too
do.
many
So
things.
tell us some of your favorite things.
Shoot, right now I got a motorcycle, so I'm riding that thing everywhere. It's like my favorite thing right now. I love the bike, and but I love being in nature, camping, snowboarding. Just bringing my family wherever I can do it. Like, I love being with them and like showing them things, experiences. Like, I love experiences. So I'm always trying to, whether it's with my family, with friends, I'm like, let's do fun things. And so let's see, like, the bike is definitely number one right now. I'm like,
What kind of
so
bike?
much. It's a Harley.
A Harley. Okay.
It's
and
so fun.
is it your first Harley?
It's my first Harley.
Okay.
But not my first bike.
Yeah.
My first Harley. So it's been a dream of mine for a long time to have one of those. So I'm like super, super stoked.
It's awesome.
Yeah. And ice cream. I love ice cream.
What's your favorite flavor?
Oh, I think like anything kind of like caramely.
Okay.
Like salted caramel,
Yeah.
vanilla, caramel swirl.
So good.
Just caramel on top.
Yeah,
All
that's
that.
good.
But I mean, honestly, all ice cream is good to me. I'm not.
We do have a really good ice cream
Yes.
shop that's local
Hashtag
to us.
Munderland's is like some of the best ice cream. No, I'm not kidding you. It's like the best ice cream I've ever had.
It is.
I'm an ice cream connoisseur.
Yeah, and I feel like we go different places, and I always try different ice cream. I mean, I try not to eat all the ice cream, but when I have,
Yeah.
I always compare it to Munderland's.
It really is. I tried that the straw, and the one that's in full, that Roseville, everyone likes the salted and straw or whatever. Straw and table. No, anyway, it's good.
Yeah,
But Munderland's to me is better.
I know.
It's so good.
It's real
Sorry.
good.
I'm passionate
Tell
about
us
ice
a
cream.
surprising fact about you that maybe most people don't know or wouldn't guess about you.
I think, okay, so after talking all about that, like I am definitely an extrovert, but once a month at least, I need to like stay home,
Okay.
close the blinds, watch movies, not talk to anybody, like at least once a month, and
Okay.
like just go cave mode,
Like
and then I'm
veg.
good.
Okay,
I'm a big vegger,
that's good.
but I can't do too much, but I need it. Like if I don't get it, I'm not the same. But so I think a lot of people don't think that about me, but I
Yeah.
definitely need my alone time. Yeah.
I'm an extrovert also, and it is true. We get energy from being around people,
Yeah.
and like, let's hang out with the people, have the people over, like.
Yeah.
But I agree. I think there are times that it's just good to like not.
Disappear.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Once a month. That I didn't know that about you.
Yeah.
So that's good.
Cool.
Talk to us about your journey to faith and how you came to know Jesus.
Yeah, so it's a wild one. I'll try to nutshell it as much as I can,
Yeah.
and keep it honorable because there's people, that are a part of it that I'm not sure want to be a part of it. But I think, basically grew up in a Christian home, and my parents were, instrumental in all that and getting me to church and worship music and all that stuff. But, you know, a home life wasn't perfect, you know, parents are parents, and I was a crazy kid and wanted all the wrong things, and just found myself, even though going to church, you know, Christian high school, through kindergarten through high school, actually it was a Christian school, private Christian school. I still just found myself like never taking that seriously, and always kind of wanted to hang out with the bad kids. And so like kind of fast forward, just really started young, doing really like things that weren't good, you know, hanging out with the wrong crowd, and in really toxic relationships with women, like with girls at a young age. So just all bad. And, in high school, I kind of started like feeling the conviction. Like I feel like in high school, God was kind of like telling me, like I knew it wasn't right, and I was like actively choosing at that point. And I think I hit kind of my college years, like 18, 19, and just went kind of crazy. I had a girlfriend, and I ended up basically like almost living at their house with her family, and their family became like my family. And my home life wasn't great. You know, I didn't want to be home. I just wanted to be out. And so in that process, I knew God was convicting me in this relationship. He's like, the way you're living is not right. Like if you love this girl, you're not going to do these things. You're going to lead her. And I'm feeling this stuff, but in the midst of all that, I'm still living a very worldly lifestyle. So it's like super confusing. You know, like one day I'm like feeling this, the next day I'm like really not. And so basically, I, through a series of events, kind of returned to the Lord, and then she like breaks up with me, and it just wrecked me, you know, like, because I feel like I lost everything. Like I lost a house, I lost family. I lost basically everything I thought was good in my life was through her, and it was gone like overnight, and like done. And so I found myself just realizing like I don't know how much detail to give, but like, to continue living this lifestyle, which I really feel like would lead me to death, like legitimately, like if I do what I want to do and kind of mask the pain the way I have before, I don't know. Like I knew this, like sitting there, like this is probably not going to lead me. Like if I'm lucky, I won't die. And then I remember thinking at the very same time, I know this is God. Like through some series of events, like I knew God was calling me out of this lifestyle, and so I just, I knew God was doing it. So I said, you know what? I'm making the decision. I'm going to choose the Lord. I don't want to die. I want to live a life that's fulfilling. Like this is empty. And so I made that commitment, and I walked into a young adult group at a church that someone invited me. I was like 19. And the guy that was speaking, I met on an airplane like 2 years before. Like he was on the airplane with me, like next to me, like shoulder to shoulder. And I'm like, what? This is nuts. Like I went up to like, do you remember me? And all that stuff. And he's like, oh my gosh, you were the kid on the plane.
So you met him on a plane, and then a couple of years later you walk into his church?
Yes.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Like the first time I walk into the first time I actually walk into church on my own volition, basically, like I'm going for my first time, like as someone who's made the decision to like, I'm doing this, or at least it was that first step. And he was the person there. And I met him like almost 2 years previously, with his family was moving from LA to Hawaii to be a pastor. And, he was right next to me in the airplane. We were talking, and fast forward that tape, I ended up leading worship at his church, and like was with him for 10 years, and it was wild. Yeah. So that's the nutshell, you know, within all that is a lot of, you know, crazy stuff. And I think the biggest thing is like the Lord, like, I think everyone has this moment where God's really is super like blatant with, you know, he shows up, and you have to make that decision to act. And if you don't, like, I really think if I didn't do that, like, I'd be a very different person today. Like, that was the moment. Yeah. And I think he's always obviously trying to get to us, but I think that when you face really dark stuff and really hard stuff, like, it's easy to put those walls up. And I just thank God that I listened. Yeah. So,
and I like that I feel it in my life as well, that he's in constant pursuit of our hearts. And it's sometimes being stripped away from all the things that are comfortable, all the things that give you that safety net. He doesn't he needs to be that for us. And so I love that he did that for you. Who were some of the people that were instrumental in your journey? Obviously this pastor that you met, did you connect with him right away on the plane too? Okay.
Crazy. So he interacted with me. I was reading a surf magazine, and at this point I'm the farthest I've ever been from the Lord on this plane. I mean, I'm just like, no chance I want anything to do with the Lord. And he just reaches over. He was a surfer as well, like we used to compete and all that stuff like that. And we just started chatting about surfing. And I'm like, whoa, who's this guy? And it was really odd because he's actually a black dude. And I was like, I don't realize you guys surf, and it was really funny. And so he's like, oh yeah, I'm a big surfer and all that. And so that's how we connected. And then sure enough, I'm like, so what are you guys doing? And he said that we're transplanting to Hawaii to be a pastor. I'm like, oh, what church? And I knew growing up in the church, I knew I was in and out of different churches. And so I knew the church that he was going to go be a part of called New Hope and some of the different pastors, because I would go to like youth group and stuff like that. So I was like, that's crazy. I know this person. I know that person. That's so wild. And so he connected with them, and I didn't see him until that night at the young adults.
That's crazy. So, did you have other people that were in your life that would you say were influences in your faith journey?
Oh, for sure. Definitely my parents, it again, like I said, it wasn't perfect, right? No one's perfect, and they did their best, I think. But they pursued the Lord, and made sure that church was a priority. We went to church every Sunday. They went to Bible studies every week, and in the cars we were listening to worship music, Rich Mullins, Keith Green.
Oh yeah.
all the good stuff. And I think just having that foundation was huge. Let's see. Pastor Alex Michelle, he was a big one in my early years. He passed away a couple years ago, which was really, really tough, but we know where he's at.
Yeah.
I think there's a guy, his name's JJ Villeman. He's a good buddy of mine, and he led this ministry called Surf Skate Surrender, Triple S, God is love. Like these guys became some of my best friends, and I met him shortly in that season, like right when I started to commit. I went to one of their groups, and we would surf a lot, and then we'd go feed the homeless on Saturday nights. We go down to this place called Chinatown, which is like a downtown, a lot of homeless people, a lot of druggies. And we'd feed them peanut butter jelly sandwiches and water and chips, like in bags. We go to Safeway and make hundreds of bags, and we'd walk out into the streets and feed people and pray for them. And he led that for years and years. And so, just being a really good example, a big brother in Christ, he was amazing. So
awesome. So for calling, when would you say that you first felt called into ministry? Was it kind of a gradual thing? Was it?
Ooh, yes, it was definitely gradual. But yeah, God put me in right away. So I love worship, I love music and stuff. And in high school, I was part of a couple of different choirs, like some small bands. I like to sing, mostly like secular things, but I liked it. And I liked Christian music too, but it wasn't like in my radar. Yeah. And then when I made the transformation, I was in a season where I was pretty alone, and I'd just find myself like at home a lot and then I just pick up my guitar and just start singing to the Lord, just praying. And I remember one day I was like, God, if you would give me this gift, I'll do it for you. And it was like a week later that JJ, the guy I was talking about, just saw me, fiddling on guitar at one of the Bible studies. And he's like, hey, do you sing at all? I'm like, a little bit. He's like, okay, you're leading worship next week. I'm like, what? And so I led like How Great Is Our God or something like that. Aww. And from there, that's where it started, and just leading worship in small Bible studies. And then finally kind of at that church underneath a couple different leaders. And it kind of just slowly happened. And right when Jan and I got engaged, I was going to take a year off of serving, because I was serving like every week for like a long time at that point. Yeah. I'm like, I'm going to get engaged. We're going to take a year off and just relax. And it was like the week I was going to go tell him, the worship pastor at our church like stepped down, and my senior pastor Alex was like, hey Ryan, we need you to do this. And it was paid, but it was like barely. Like I gave the money back.
Yeah.
And Jan and I prayed about it, and I stepped into that role. And it was tough because it was not a good situation.
Yeah.
And so I walked into this team that was like falling apart. And I'm like, I wanted to like focus on my marriage and stuff.
Yeah.
And then I had to kind of had to jump into this situation. I'm like, Lord, if this is what you want me to do, like you're going to provide. And it was awesome. I mean, it was really hard. And then from there, just kind of went to school and just kind of kept doing it.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you, to be honest, there's so many times I'm like, I'm done. I'm going to get out of this, you know. But God's always been faithful. Just be like, keep going and pursue the things I've given you. So,
Yeah, ministry is not for the faint of heart.
yeah. Yeah.
It's hardcore.
It's wild.
But when it comes to worship ministry, what is one thing that you wish more people understood?
I think the thing that I tell people a lot, like a lot of people come up to me and they think I'm a music guy. They're like, well, what's your favorite band? Like, and I'm like, the reality is like, oh yeah, I love music. I'm more of a presence guy than I am a music guy. Like it's so much less about the music than it is about interacting with the presence of God. Like if music wasn't the vessel, I would do that. Like if it was knitting scarves together, like I would be a scarf knitter if that's what did it, you know?
Yeah.
But it's not. Like God gave us music and for whatever reason, that's like the tool that is really, really successful at getting the people of God to praise him. And I think that when we do that, his presence shows up. I'm telling you, like the music's fun. It's cool. It's fun to be on point. It's fun for it to sound good. But for me, it's so much more about the presence of God than the music, you know, the quality of the music or all that stuff is great. And it's all gifts to the Lord and it's all part of the sacrifice. But I could tell people like, I just love worshiping God. I love it when he shows up and works on stuff because that's what healed me. And that's what brought me out of some really heavy stuff. And he's just worth our praise, you know, like that. He's just worth it. And he shows up and he doesn't have to, and he does. And I love that.
Yeah. That bleeds through with you. I feel
thanks.
like, that your heart for worship shines through. And I feel like, I mean, both of us have been in worship ministry and church situations and stuff where people maybe are gifted musically, but it is that if there's not a heart for God or a desire for the presence of God, then it looks different and it feels different. So I appreciate your leadership and your desire.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, it's a big deal. It means a lot. Okay, I want to talk to you about, so currently at our church, we have experienced rapid growth. So Ryan is our worship pastor. So over the years, like there have been so many people coming into church. And so it has grown. We're understaffed. All of us are stepping into all kinds of roles. And so you're helping with youth. You started a young adults and no one asked you to start young adults, but just hearing your story and knowing that that's where God intervened in your life, that is probably, I'm guessing, one of the big things for you, that you see these young people and you want them.
Totally.
You want more for them. Talk to us about youth and young adults and how that's going for you. Stepping into all of it.
Yeah, you know, it's such a it's such an important part of your life. That early 20s, you come out of high school, or you've been out of high school for a couple of years. You've had some freedom. You're really forming who you are in those years, and obviously. You know, if part of me just feels like I'm giving back because I've received so much from people, I'm like, I just can't sit around and watch them not have a space. And like, you know, on the platform, you get a chance to see a different vantage point. And over the years, I've just seen more and more of this young adult demographic showing up in our church. And I think churches around the county, and it's typically an older crew out here. So I think it's kind of a newer season for this community, is seeing more and more of these young adults sticking around, coming back from college, doing college remotely, and they like don't have a place to go. And so Jana and I, my wife, we started a Bible study just in our home. It's over 2 years ago at this point.
That's crazy.
I think we're coming up on 3 years, which blows my mind.
Time flies.
Yeah.
It's insane.
Crazy. And so at first we just started in our house, just going through the Bible, just reading verse by verse, talking about it, praying for each other.
And Jana was making dinner and she's so hospitable.
In our little tiny house, like, you know, it was so fun. And I miss those times. Like that was really sweet. And getting to know Kaylin was a part of that, you know, your daughter. And there was this little core group of them, and that was such a sweet time to get to know them. And we prayed and we learned and we walked through the Word and did that for about 2 years. And then we decided that God was calling us to make it like a ministry, to make it a space. I think what I saw was it wasn't a really good place for people to bring guests who are maybe unchurched.
Yeah.
It just felt a little bit too like they tried, and it was like really intense because
Yeah.
we're talking about like deep, heavy theological things and like spiritual stuff. It was pretty
Yeah.
mature.
Yeah.
And I was like, you know what? I really feel that we need a space that you can invite your friends to who maybe would never step in on a Sunday. And we're going to have some food, we have some worship, some conversation. And so we decided to make it a ministry. And it's been really hard.
Yeah.
It's a lot.
Uh-huh.
And we've had some amazing people partner with us, and some of the young adults have stepped up as leaders, and they're just super stoked. And there's been weeks after week after week where I'm like on the verge of like pulling the plug because I'm just so tired. And I think it's like a spiritual thing. And then like at night, on those nights, there's some like young adult that'll walk up out of nowhere and just be like, you don't know how much this means to me that you guys are doing this. And I'm like, oh, shoot, like I can't stop. I can't,
Yeah.
And just seeing, and I love it. Like I do.
Yeah.
Like, and seeing them just have a place to connect and meet community and just be open and honest on where they're at in their life and their needs and their wants and their desires. And so it's a push. But I really do feel like God's doing something new in our young adults here.
I think it's cool too, because I believe as Christians and living out our faith and really being authentic followers of Jesus, that's really lonely. The world is very separate from that, And so for these young adults to come and have a place where there's other people pursuing God, then it makes it not be as lonely and that they're spurring each other on. And we do have a lot of really amazing young adults.
We do.
They're
awesome.
Yeah,
They're
they
so
really
awesome.
are. What would you say are some unique challenges that you face in ministering to this generation, and how do you navigate that?
I think, like in our church, it's really beautiful. We have a really wide stroke of ages now, which is so cool, but so challenging because I feel like the younger group, they're kind of over the traditional church is not really doing it for them. It's not like, I feel like for a long time, early 2090s, kind of the program of church was really popping, you know what I'm saying? And it still is, but I think this younger generation coming up want something different.
Yeah.
They want a different experience, a deeper experience with each other.
Yeah.
And it's a lot less about the production and the event of church as it is about the tangibleness of what it is. I think they've got a lot of really deep questions. They've seen the cycles of history. It's so easy to access church history and different churches, and they're seeing big churches burn out and these pastors falling out, and all that's affecting them. And they could care less, honestly, about they want something that they walk away with that moves them. And so, but at the same time, we've got this older generation that loves church and the event, and which I always do. I think the gathering of the church should always be is always going to be here and is always super important, and we should always do it well. But it's now bridging the gap between the different generations. It's tricky, and so, and obviously, just I think how accessible the world is through media and phones, and that's played a lot on the psyche of every generation. Honestly, in comparison, and what are these people doing? And you don't have to leave your home to get community, which is wild.
So dangerous.
Yeah, so dangerous.
And also, I was thinking through like theology, like people are getting theology from TikTok or, or an Instagram reel or something. And so just the importance of you need to know the word, I need to know the word, and that we're encouraging young people and older people to be in God's word, because that's essential, because there's whack stuff out there. Oh my gosh.
It's wild.
What's happening?
There's some good stuff too. Like, this is great. What we're doing. Hey, I think we're doing some good stuff. And, but it's easier than now, like to choose a side and to just hate people and hurt people and treat church like a restaurant, like,
some reviews.
But there are all these pockets where it's still good. Like God is still doing it. Like He's in control, and he is always in control of generations. And there's going to be, every generation's going to have failures, but ultimately He's gracious and He pursues us. And I think He's pursuing this next generation, giving us wisdom on how to reach them. And we just got to trust that He's going to give us what we need to reach them. So
Yeah. And this is our generation, right? To leave
Yeah.
impact. So showing up, thanks for showing up for it.
yeah.
How do you stay spiritually filled when your calendar is so busy, when you're constantly pouring out? How do you stay encouraged? How do you stay filled up?
And sip of coffee for this one. Coffee is one of them. It's my spiritual liquid life. I mean, you can't not have coffee on the daily pour.
I know.
You gotta drink
I'm
coffee.
serving coffee here.
It's like the ASMR. You can hear me like sip it. Like, yeah, definitely worship for me is huge. It's my love language with the Lord is definitely through song, and just I find the places where I'm the most spiritually healthy is when I'm having alone time with God, like in my secret space.
Yeah.
Door closed, no one's around,
Yep.
me and my guitar, singing songs that don't exist. Praying and just sitting with no agenda in the presence of God alone. I think for me, if I'm missing out on that, it's tricky. It's like how he keeps me. That's like almost like he like doesn't let me get too far off the leash on that.
Yeah.
And it's hard with a child and a busy schedule and a small home.
Yeah.
And neighbors. I can't sing too loud and not feel weird. I know they hear me. I'm sorry if you ever hear me on the piano just wailing. But that's huge. Obviously, the word. I mean, it's a supernatural moment when you open the Bible every time. I think it's not just information. You could read it and not even understand, and I think God still fills you up somehow. So just do it, even if doesn't feel like it's working, it is. So that's a big one, obviously. Community, church. I think just being honest and open with my wife about where I'm at. Like, hey, I'm just drained right now. I need like prayer. Like, I'm not feeling good. And sometimes she senses that and she'll just be like, what's going on?
Yeah.
And I think that's why it's good to have, like, I needed a partner because God knows that I could not do this alone. And so, I just think, just staying in tune with his presence and being honest with him where I'm at and just don't hold back. I shared with the young adults once, like don't be afraid to be weird with God. Like, do the weird thing. Like, he asks you to do something strange, like do it. If it's not like way too weird, I just feel like he loves that. Like, the Bible's weird. Like, I feel like God asks people to do weird stuff all the time in the Bible. I'm like, why would he stop now?
Yeah.
So if he asked me to go outside and like sit down in the grass, I might do it because why not? But so
I think that with evangelism, like to share your faith or to love on someone that you have no idea, like those moments where you feel like God is calling you to do something that's totally outside of your comfort zone, things that you would never think up yourself. Like those are often like, that's the voice of God. Like, I'm asking you to go talk to this person when,
so
we just have
fun.
to be bossed by him and listen.
That's when it gets really fun. That's when it gets fun.
Yeah.
And you start seeing some crazy stuff.
Yeah. Just God at work. He's at work.
He's at work.
Do you have any go-to resources or habits that help you stay rooted in your walk with God? Do you have any, like, your favorite book or podcast, devotionals, mentors?
Favorite podcast, Daily Pour.
Oh yeah. Thanks.
I love listening to sermons, and so obviously I love to listen to Brian's sermons.
Me too. Brian Lopez is my favorite.
His name's Brian Lopez.
The Cultures.
They're so cool. It's rad. Tale of Two Kings, this series is fire.
Oh my gosh.
And so I'm super blessed to get filled like every week, which is, not a lot of people get that. But I do listen, one of my other guy I listen to a lot, his name's Matt Chandler from the Village Church in Texas. And I just love, I've been listening to him since I was in my 20s too. I mean, it's been probably 15 years listening to him, watching his journey. He survived brain cancer and stuff, and God's used him in these huge ways. And I just love listening to the way he talks about the gospel and theology. It's really good. Other podcasts, let's see. Honestly, Lecrae's podcast right now is like going off. He's like interviewing all these.
I've heard.
It's really good.
Yeah,
they have really good conversations. Like,
awesome.
It's not something I thought I was going to enjoy. And I'm like, I'm like super glued in, and they're just real good conversations too. So, books. There's a book called The War of Art. I think it's a small little book. It's actually not a Christian book, so just heads up. But it talks about professionalism versus amateurs and like how they approach art and business, like removing yourself from criticism, like removing yourself from your product. So like if you're an artist or you're a business person or you're like to approach those things professionally. So if you're taking criticism, not to get your identity wrapped up and take it personally, but it's not you, right?
Yeah.
It's the thing that you do, and the criticism is good and you can get better at it. But sometimes artists, especially, we put so much of our identity in the craft that if anyone touches that button, it's like, oh, how dare you?
Yeah.
And that was a big one for me because I was like that. And luckily I read that book pretty young. And so, you know, in worship especially, like that's the key, is to remove yourself from the equation.
Yeah.
Like as soon as you make it about yourself, I mean, it's just the presence is gone. Like it's just, you start to fail, right? As soon as you start to get the prideful, that's the start of the downfall, whatever the quote is, I don't know. And so that was a good book. It's non-Christian. There might be a couple weird words in there, but it really does teach you and show you like blatant kind of hard truth about, hey, like that's immature. This is how amateurs approach the situation. This is how a professional does. And that was a good one. Yeah. So it's a really quick read too. It's short. That's why I like it.
Sounds good.
And the Bible. That was the Bible.
Bible, that's like the best book I've ever
so good.
read. Yeah.
Just Proverbs.
You want to get smart. There you go. What's something that God has been teaching you recently?
I'm actually in the middle of trying to figure out part of that, because I was recently, on this last Sunday, I led worship at a church in Folsom. Well, it's a ministry called Powerhouse Ministry. And Josh, the guy speaking, spoke about 1 Samuel 18:19. Okay. And just that morning, I was at church and Brian spoke about 1 Samuel 19. Oh. We did 18 last week. And so I'm like, what are the odds? Yeah. Because I almost didn't make it down yesterday to that, or Sunday. And so I'm still processing that. Like, okay, that's kind of odd, you know? Yeah, it's a popular part of scripture, but twice in one day.
I feel like this is always a thing. Yeah. When God is on repeat, so when it's the same portion of scripture or someone is saying something you just read, like to pay attention to that, because there's something to it.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, the Bible's a big book, and they could have talked about anything. Yep. And it was the same chapter, the same thing on the same day.
Your wheels are turning.
I'm like, what is it? Am I Saul? Yeah. Am I David? Am I Samuel? Like, am I doing good? Or am I doing bad? Like, I don't know who am I? But so I'm still kind of figuring out what that was a big moment. That was just Sunday, a couple days ago. Yep. But outside of that, I think persevere, like just learning how to like, I think the season I'm in, it's weird. I feel like I was close to like a weird kind of burnout. I think just doing a lot, just as it's real. Like ministry's hard, people are hard, and I like to push myself. And we're trying to do different things outside of church with some business stuff and just, I think, overwork myself. And I feel like I'm actually in a better spot, but I'm feeling like this, like, I feel like even though I've like trimmed out some of the things that weren't healthy, it's still this like wave of like, it's still catching up with me, I guess, if that's a way. So burnout doesn't just end when you get rid of like the stuff. I feel like it takes time. And so right now I'm just trying to refill like my tank. And so finding joy in ministry and finding joy even in the hard parts of ministry, because there is beauty in the tough parts, right? It makes us better. It makes the situation better if we handle it healthy. It's awesome, but it's just stinking hard. Yeah. And so I think this last couple of years were pretty rough, like just different scenarios, different, obviously staff things at the church were pretty wild. People are, hearing people's stories, just the hurt alone that's in the church, it's heavy to wrestle with. And you're standing up there like, man, like my life is great. Like, and there's people I'm looking at who are going through horrible things. I'm telling them like, have hope and joy and goodness and and I'm like, I feel so conflicted, you know? And so like that on top of a burnout, it's just tricky. Yeah. And so I feel like this is a season of just like coming back to just trusting God's process, trusting in his joy, trying to rest in that he is truly in control. So
I think it's so important too that because our lives are busy, we have a lot going on, but the importance of rest, the importance of Sabbath. And when you're a go-getter, I feel like I'm a go-getter, it's hard to make that happen on a regular, consistent basis. You know, like you're saying, once a month I have for me, I'm like, we need to take more than that. And just having time away, vacation time, all of it, taking advantage of all of it. Yeah. It's really important. To get better at that. If you could say one thing to encourage young leaders or people who are maybe even exploring ministry, what would it be?
Learn how to serve people really well. Learn how to be a good servant before you're a good leader.
Yeah.
Like if you're under a leader that you don't like even, or you do like, don't just chill or wait for the next thing. Like be as best as you can. Or even if it's like at McDonald's and you're working there, but you have aspirations to be a leader, like you do McDonald's, like that's you're the boss of that role.
Yep.
And I think the best leaders are the best servants, you know, and because that's what, especially in ministry, that's what it is.
Yeah.
So if you want to do this, you got to learn how to enjoy and love serving people, because if not, you're not going to make it.
Yeah. If you don't love people, ministry is probably not your gig.
Yeah. I think, So just learn how to serve and love people, and learn how to just thick skin and a soft heart, you know. Don't, be confident in who you are in Jesus, and at the same time, know how to navigate tricky stuff, and go for it. Don't be afraid of, I know the big one is money, and we live in a hard season economically in the world, but God provides. I've seen it do it a million times. If you're called to ministry, he shows up.
He does.
So just send it.
Yep. Agreed. How can people connect with you? Give us your Instagram handle, all of that.
Instagram. My Instagram's weird because it's like all video stuff. I do weddings, right? Like, so you know that, but I need to not have so many Instagram accounts. So I have 3. I actually have 4 personal ones. I kid you not. I know.
Okay, what one do you want listeners to go to if they're like, I need to connect with this guy?
I think go into Ryan Tenney Films.
Okay.
That's my video, but that's why I'm on the most, because it's my side business. I've been working on that stuff for a long time, but I just made a new one called Ryan Tenney Music.
Okay.
I feel like I have different personalities. It's crazy. Sorry, I'm not crazy. I promise. I'm very sane. I love my life. But Ryan Tenney Music is when I'm trying to be a place for people. Just honestly, it's not me just singing. It's just my experience in worship, really. And it would just be Ryan Tenney, but there's someone out there that's taken Ryan Tenney.
Oh, stop.
And I've tried to message him so many times, and he just ghosts
doesn't
me.
care.
He doesn't care. He doesn't post. He hasn't posted in years.
Ryan.
And he blocked me.
Tenney. What?
I know. Ryan Tenney blocked me.
Come on.
And I'm like, I need this account. Because it would just be Ryan Tenney.
Yeah.
But, okay, there's another one.
Okay, give it to us.
But, okay, the main one is Ryan Tenney Films. So you just go there, and Ryan Tenney Music, it's all in there. But I have Hill X Sand. It's like my adventure one.
Yeah.
Where you go camping,
that's a fun one.
off-roading.
I follow you on there.
Got some plans for that one. I want to make it a brand someday. We'll see. A little sneak peek if you want to.
Okay.
Like shirts and stuff.
Yeah,
Could be kind of cool, like Hill X Sand. I don't know.
Let's go.
See, I'm a visionary. We just don't stop with the ideas. And then the other one's the Harley Flow.
Is this a newer one? No, you have
it's all like Harley stuff and bikes and me riding around. So but I've been so busy, I haven't been posting. So I have 3, those 4 ones I got right now. But
oh my gosh.
Ryan Tenney Films is the main one though.
Okay. So give us, do you have any closing words of encouragement that you would want to leave with our listeners?
Oh yeah. Let's see. Let's see. I think the more we can bridge the gap between each other and unification. I don't know, unity. It just is a big one. The enemy is trying to break up the church and just people in the world so much.
Yeah.
Everything you have to have a certain side on, and if you're not on that side, you're on against them. I just hate that.
Yeah.
And politics or, even just world stuff or theology. It's this is the time we need to come together and put the differences aside and just stand. If you believe in Jesus, that Jesus is God and he's atoned for your sins and he's the Lord of your life, we're on the same team.
Yeah.
Let's just
do
that.
The main thing.
Yes. And we could be so much more effective. And so I think another one too is just hope. There's still so much goodness in the world. It looks really crazy right now, but it's still good. And there's still things to be hopeful for. And just don't lose that. As hard as it gets, just keep going. So yeah, that's probably what I would say.
Yeah. It reminds me of that verse, Romans 15:13. May the God of hope fill you with all joy and peace as you trust in him. So and that's when we place our hope and our faith in the Lord, it overflows. It's overflowing. So yeah, thank you so much for being here, for being a guest and hanging out on the Daily Pour. I'm so excited.
Daily Pour. Can we cheers our?
Yeah.
We need to cheers our coffees without spilling on your computer.
Don't spill on the computer.
See if we get the microphone.
Oh yeah. Thanks for joining us. Catch you next week, friends.
See ya.
Thanks so much for joining the Daily Pour podcast. If you enjoyed today's episode, make sure to subscribe on your favorite podcast app so you never miss what's next. And don't forget, the Daily Pour is on YouTube. We'll be showing up on video soon, so head over, hit that subscribe button, and be the first to see when we go live with new content. If you're enjoying the show, please take a moment to leave us a review. It really helps others discover the podcast. And if you know someone who'd be encouraged by this conversation, go ahead and share the episode with a friend. Thanks for listening. See you next time, my friend.